there's this like rise in anxiety in humans in general, and like a lot of people are like trying to get diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety and this and that, and it kind of led me to this thought process of like everybody's talking about like getting diagnosed with anxiety and this and that, and then I was like, dude, like being a human creates anxiety, like life in general. And I think there's this rise because it's not because people are like trying to jump on a social bandwagon. It's because some version that is positive of social media has caused people to be like, I fucking lay in bed all day crying and everything sucks and the world sucks and I've got anxiety. And then somebody watches that and they're like, yeah, I fucking experience that too. And it's like just the human condition. And we were kind of talking about like America in general and everything that's wrong. But like we as a society have created like such a fucking tough place to live. No wonder anxiety is so much higher and things are so much more terrible. It's okay to talk about and to be like, hey, also dealing with the bullshit. I don't know. I dove down a rabbit hole.
No, you didn't.
I was almost talking to myself. Then I'm like, the podcast camera. Hello. Hey, guys. Shit sucks sometimes. Talk to somebody about it. Dude, it helps so much.
It does, and I think sometimes that people don't know how to take that first step because...
Dipped my toe.
I think it's taking the first step is so difficult because I think we're conditioned, whether it's military or just men in general, you know, we're conditioned for being the strong, you know, the alpha, the leader, there's so much that's put on us as men growing up, and it starts because there's nothing worse than like a teenage, like even like junior high age boy. Those are the meanest people you'll ever meet, right? It's just that. Granted, there a lot of them are nice, right? Backpedal a little bit, but I think for the most part, I mean, little dudes can just be in a pack. That's bad. And then that's where we learn the don't be a wuss, suck it up. That's where we start figuring that out, you know. And then I think a generation of parents, even before that, you know, they were told a lot of the same stuff, and then they don't know how to have those conversations, so it turns right back around.
Shout out to my father.
Yeah, you know, so it turns back around. In not
a positive way.
Right, I got that. But it turns it back around, and it just perpetuates this constant wheel of, I just call it the proverbial man card, right? So taking that first step of just, hey man, I've got an issue, I need to talk to somebody about it. And, you know, I don't know how deep you want to get into, but I know that you have like, what, 2 dudes you chit chat with occasionally or whatever, you know, and I got that as well. And I mean, it when I feel something shitty coming up, I now have tools to work with it, but I also have people that I know that I can just go to right now, talk about it. We can relate. I can see if I'm putting things out of perspective. But I think you have all this already, our emotions and everything. But if you go back to our conversation about the United States and how we work and how hard we work and we take, you know, making money and the inflation costs, you know, buying a home, renting a home, whatever it is, how expensive that's getting, and it's continuously being raised and raised and raised and raised. Well, you add that card on top of everything else, man, and those dominoes fall. It's a huge, huge avalanche at times. So you got to just, I don't know, man. You got to have that out there. Like people are like, oh, you go to therapy, man, you're weak.
Therapy is the best shit that I ever went through.
Yeah.
I am so genuinely frustrated. So I changed I changed jobs. We talked about that. So before, at the tail end of my teaching era, I started doing therapy. Therapy is the best shit that ever happened. And at first, you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to change my life, and you're just listening to the shit that I have to say. But then, like, a session, 2 sessions in, you're like, oh, I'm suddenly aware of, like, for me to we can get personal. I don't give a shit. For me, one of the biggest things. So for a long time when I left the military, I was never boots on ground. I dealt with my own fucking share of dead people. We had a plane go down. We had to pull bodies out. I had to take photos of it.